God is with me as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I will fear no evil because God is with me. Need some trust, understanding, wisdom, knowledge.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Divinely Uninspired podcast. And yes, that hot fire we just listened to was Billy Blanks from Tybo, who has had a Christian album out now because everybody has a Christian album out now. Any thoughts on?
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I thought he was dead.
You think Billy Blanks? No, Come on.
Is he still really fit?
I'm sure he is. This video does not give him, he's got a, your purple, I don't want to get into the details of what he's dressed like, but he's got like the pastor, like he's in a choir at a black church.
That could hide a lot though. That's a robe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he might be, maybe we should start wearing him here. I might go full robe. I like the thought of that.
Yeah.
Can we get you one?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Jeremy, full robe, I think.
I would love a uniform to pick out what I wear. We just talked about this earlier.
Okay, never mind.
I do have a uniform. I wear like
He
four
does.
shirts on rotation. That's exactly what I'd like to do.
I see it in the back.
I can't wait until the one shirt he brings out that has the like missing pocket. It's just the fold at the top and there's no pocket. It's just a button.
I burned that one.
Listen,
What?
I had a teacher in college, and he had two shirts, and we only knew he had two shirts because one of them had a big stain on the back, but he wore the same two shirts every time.
Well, no, like this shirt, I actually have 3 black ones, and then I have one of every other color.
That's good.
So I'm actually not wearing the same shirt over and over. It's just the same style of shirt.
He saves the purple one for Easter.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's my Easter one. That's Jesus.
Steve Jobs. Yeah. Why did we decide on Jesus with the red sash? Is that why did we as a country say white Jesus, red sash?
Like that one's got little Jesus there's got a purple sash. Where's little Jesus?
Oh, yeah, he does.
The different colors mean different things.
That's Easter Jesus.
This is Easter Jesus.
Typically it's red. Mary's always got her little blue outfit on.
I've seen Jesus in a blue sash.
Yeah, why Mary with the blue and the white?
I don't know.
You should know this, Pastor Jeremy.
I should know why they wore sashes on an outfit that was completely made up that Jesus probably didn't even wear.
I mean, it's closer. The knowledge is closer now to us than actual Jesus because he didn't have that outfit on. Someone along the line since Jesus decided.
But like if you
sash.
watch like The Chosen, he's wearing like a khaki colored thing with like a brown sash.
Well, that would make more sense being in the desert. You're not too flashy.
I don't really know what Jesus wore.
It's kind of his thing. Yeah. Everybody kind of wore the tunic. That I
always thought like wouldn't it be fun if like Jesus, because like if he's God, so he has all this knowledge, like just came out one day in like a pair of like Levi's, like he knew that eventually we'd make jeans and just Jesus just wore jeans.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, what is this? He's like, I got jeans.
Dungarees Jesus. That's what we're starting.
Or
pair,
like a pair of overalls,
Yeah.
just like one day these are going to be really awesome.
Yeah, you're just not ready for it. You Marty McFly. All right, well, that was the voice of Jeremy. He's the pastor of our church. We got Penny here.
Hi.
Hey, I think I know another reason why Penny's might not have been working because I had a button turned on. For some reason, only Penny's was lit up on the board. So, hey, and I'm Paul, and it's been a while, and it's been a week. So, we are here talking today on a new episode of the podcast. And we're going to just start with the big topics. Have you heard of the new adult Chuck E. Cheese?
No.
Oh.
Well, they're opening adult Chuck E. Cheese.
Is it called Cece's?
Gross. No.
Where is a Cece's at? I see the commercials, but I never...
In my heart and mind is where Cece's used to be. $4 buffet. I mean, you're not getting good quality, but $4. What do you...
That cheese bread was good.
The what? Cheese bread?
Yeah.
Cheese bread's hard to do wrong.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about this thing. So they're opening up a new Chuck E. Cheese for adults. It's on...
No, it's not.
It isn't. Oh, the
I was
worst.
like,
we don't know what you're talking
is this
about.
in town?
Can we do worse with the monitors in this room? If this room just wanted to flood again, I'd be fine with it.
I only want them to open up an adult Chuck E. Cheese if we get the animatronics back with the little with the holes below it, like you could like go through the
tunnels,
the mouse trap.
I mean, but isn't Dave and Buster's basically adult Chuck E. Cheese?
Essentially, they are taking the Dave and Buster's and they're putting the name Chuck E. Cheese on it. Is kind of what they're doing.
Yeah,
which is disappointing because I think an '80s arcade would do well in this kind of thing.
But Chuck E. Cheese now, if you go, it's not a pizza buffet. Was it ever a pizza buffet?
No,
Gaddy's was a pizza buffet. No, Gaddy's is a pizza buffet.
Yes, but we were. Oh no,
Chuck E. Cheese was never a buffet. You had to order pizza.
Then who cares?
Well, I liked it.
What's happening?
Why would I want to go order a pizza? I can do that from Pizza Hut and go play the little arcade game they have.
Do you think Chuck E. Cheese has good pizza?
No.
I can't tell you the last time I've had Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay,
it's better than it used to be.
Okay, I haven't been to a Chuck E. Cheese it's probably been 5 years. I took Lily.
It's been a while.
But they have it in the frozen food section. You can get it at,
okay.
I kind of like it because I don't know if it's nostalgic tasting or if it's good. But I'm like,
let's get it and try
DoorDash is one. We'll put it in
DoorDash.
We don't have an oven, so it doesn't
We
matter.
will soon. Give us a week.
Man, as soon as the first thing we're doing in the oven. So
yeah.
All right. I didn't know if we'd be excited about this or not because I wanted to ask, what was your all's favorite birthday party growing up? We're in the middle of cereal season, but it's also.
Can I say something about Chuck E. Cheese
please
real quick
do.
before we move on? Do you, like, in your mind, do you remember, like, thinking the ball pit was, like, 20 feet deep?
Yes.
Like,
Oh, it's terrible.
Absolutely.
But in reality, it was only, like, 2 or 3 feet deep.
Yeah.
It was the closest thing to quicksand we had as children.
But, like, in my mind, like, we used to jump into that, and then we would just sink for, like, minutes. But then, like, when you see pictures of it, like, it was maybe 2 to 3 feet deep.
Did you go to the one? There was one on Preston, and then there was one at the mall. Did you all go to the one at the mall?
I went to the one on Preston.
Yeah.
There was another one.
I only remember the two here.
Was there not one on Dixie?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, there's another one somewhere
lied to you.
else, though.
There's
Maybe Preston?
Charlie's Pizza Shack.
They took.
Are you sure?
They took Penny to Wendy's with their super bar and the Italian,
man.
and was like, "Here's a mouse."
Listen, I think Penny deserves a lot of credit for bringing the super bar into our lives because my kids were horrified that's not there still. Pasta and nachos and the sunroom.
Okay.
No, there was one on Preston, and then there was one on Hurstbourne now that I think closed. Maybe
No, the one on Hurstbourne's still there,
is it? It's rough,
but it's not like the original Chuck E. Cheese. It's like
no. So
No, there was one on Dixie.
so where the buckle is
No.
at the
Yes.
mall, it used to be Chuck E. Cheese, and
Text my mom.
the window to the ball pit was like up, like you could just be in
Yeah.
the ball pit and your face up against the glass watching people shop.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you all were big fans of that?
yeah, I
That's
liked
true.
I liked Chuck. I liked Gaddyland better. I'll be honest. I thought Gaddyland was better when it came in, but I did like Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, I was a big Chuck E. Cheese fan. I'm not sure. I'm more of the arcade people and the skee ball than the food.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think I like Gaddyland because it was a buffet.
Well, I liked Tumbleweed as a buffet as a child. I was a buffet kid, but for some reason, Pizza Buffet didn't do it for me. So, this is cereal season, but it's also apparently it is birthday season because so many people are born this time of year. Mm-hmm. And all right, we'll cut that speculation out. And we were all thinking it. I was thinking
Christmas or New Year's.
You pick your last second Christmas present, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we have been inundated with birthday parties and invitations and things like that. What was your all's favorite birthday party growing up, or did you all have birthday parties?
Yeah, I had birthday parties, didn't you?
I mean, occasionally.
Like we would go to like Chuck E. Cheese.
Every day was a birthday party for me. I was the only child.
Oh,
only
good.
grandchild.
I bet
there
it
it
was.
is.
I
So.
bet it was.
And I own it fully. So
Well, good for you.
I could be a lot worse of a person.
So
to be honest.
so that's actually a really good question. Did your parents go above and beyond for your birthday every year?
No.
It didn't have anything to compete with.
I mean, I don't remember having like a huge birthday party ever.
Really?
I remember one birthday party because we had it in the hospital when my mom had an emergency appendectomy.
Oh, goodness.
And she had to be in the hospital, and they were like, well, can't ruin his birthday. He's our baby. He's our handsome old man. He's got to have his gifts.
I did a lot of sleepovers and stuff for my birthday. So I don't know if we did anything big.
Yeah, we had, there was an occasional sleepover and such, but it was never like a big. So I asked because Lily was at one this weekend, and it was wild. And it was over here and at a business that a friend of hers parents own. And boy, if we have any poor friends with children that are in elementary school, we would like to be your friends because we're not going to be able to compete with some of these birthday parties that we've been to. But they have these princess birthdays where people come and they set up like tent stations and then they come the next day and tear it all down. And it's a great business because it's just amazing. But I didn't know if y'all had big parties growing up or big birthday memories.
No, I mean, we would go out to dinner or lunch. I always had to have friends over. I remember my favorite one, I think I was probably 12 or 13, and I got a Dan Marino jersey.
Nice.
And I was like, this is awesome. And a bunch of my friends came over, and we played football, and then my parents had something to go to that night, so they just left. And so it was like me and like 10 of my friends for like 2 hours. And it was at night, too. Like, it was like 8 or 9 o'clock at night when they left to go do whatever they were doing. And so for like 2 hours, we just like terrorized my neighborhood. And I just remember that night because it was so much fun. And there was no adult supervision whatsoever.
I cannot fathom being your parent and knowing anything about you that anybody let that happen. Because
Yeah, it happened. I remember it. I remember running the streets, Garden Court with Dan Marino jersey on.
So we both.
Oh, we got one of those Nerf footballs that had the tail on it where you could go like 100 yards. Yeah. I remember
that was probably, you said 12 or 13.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So like 94, 95, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So that's like the year of the big snow. We had the big, was it 94? Yeah. We had the big
94
snow?
was the big snow.
That Christmas, I got a Dan Marino jersey also. We were probably some pretty cool kids.
Yep.
Me and Jeremy with our matching jerseys. So,
well. Was yours a starter?
Probably not.
Mine was the off-brand. It was like the logos. It was definitely like from Value Market or Value.
It was Dolphins with an F.
no. Oh, actually, my favorite story ever is I was a huge San Antonio Spurs fan growing up because I love Dave Robinson and then they got Dennis Rodman. Actually, I love Dennis Rodman first, but then they got Dave Robinson and Avery Johnson and all those guys. So I loved all those guys. But so the starter jacket, when everybody got their starter jackets, they got like, the Bulls, Miami Hurricanes, Dallas Cowboys, all that. So I wanted the Spurs. Well, my mom couldn't find one anywhere. So she ordered it from some company. I don't even know where she ordered it. And when it came in, it said the San Antonio Spups. So I walked around for like 3 months with it saying Spups on the back before somebody finally told me. So awesome. Then I went home and told her, and she was like, "Oh, I'll fix that." So then she hand stowed the rest of the R on there. But like adorable. You could totally tell that it was hand sewn.
I love that.
But I don't even know where she got it. Because that was before the internet.
I need a picture of this.
That was like before the internet. So I don't even know where she ordered it from. There's no telling.
It took 6 to 8 weeks, I can tell you that.
She figured out how to order one and got me a San Antonio Spurs. But it was the Spups.
Did you have a starter jacket too?
No.
I had a San Jose Sharks hockey one. That was what
that was a popular one. And the Mighty Ducks were popular.
Everything was teal.
What was funny is all the people wearing San Jose Sharks and Mighty Ducks, and not one of them knew anything about ice hockey at all.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I used to be a big hockey head. So back in the day, all kinds of sports, and now I go,
that's funny.
Who had time for that?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the things that we used to waste time with that are now long gone, did you hear that AOL is finally shutting down their dial-up internet?
Oh, are they?
I did not know that it was still existed.
Yeah. There were still hundreds of thousands of people
paying for it.
Hundreds of thousands of people apparently still did it when they shut it down, but they said, listen, we can't do this anymore. It's costing us too much money, and it's 2025, people. Use your phone, do anything else. But I'm sure there are older people or people in maybe more rural areas that didn't want to sign up for a satellite.
I'll tell you what's crazy is in our house, it was built in 96 maybe.
Okay.
So there's phone jacks. Well, we don't have any home phones at all. Like we don't. And so our kids are like, what is this in the wall?
How do you get a fax?
Yeah, but they're like they like a phone jack, and I'm like, that's like a dying like. Houses don't even get built with those anymore because like who uses a phone jack?
I made a reference to this has just turned into the old people podcast.
Right.
I made the reference to the cigarette lighter in the car, and Addie looked at me like I was 1,000 years old, and she almost got tossed out. Because
Taylor did the same thing. I was like the cigarette lighter, and she's like, "What?" I was like, "Never mind."
Where you plug your phone into?
Yes,
I used to plug my Game Boy into because it went through batteries real fast.
Well, my truck doesn't even have that. Like it's just an outlet now.
But nowadays,
like it's just like a regular plug outlet.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, I tried to explain to her, I'm like, this hole, you used to stick something in, and it would get hot, and then you would light your cigarettes and smoke them in the car. And where you're sitting, you used to have an ashtray in the back of that seat. So. You know what? Enjoy the job.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about like smoking on planes and how like if you ever get on an airplane that like has still like the cigarette thing on it, that like that's pre-2000 airplane, which to me is kind of crazy. But they were saying it was 10. I didn't realize this. So when they first banned it in 1990, I think it was what they said. It took 10 years for them to completely ban it because flights over 6 hours you could still smoke on.
Oh, okay.
And so it's because smokers, I guess, need the nicotine or whatever. So anything under 6 hours, it was either 4 or 6 hours you couldn't smoke on. But if it was over 6 hours, they're like, light it up. And that was like in the like mid 90s.
Yeah. I was going to say, I fully remember my first flight. We flew to Vancouver, and we weren't in the smoking section, but what are you going to do? The whole plane is like, there's just smoke in a tube. And to think that now is just, it's wild to go anywhere and you go, oh, you're smoking.
Yeah.
It's crazy. If vaping has gotten one thing done right, it's that you don't have to smell cigarettes everywhere.
Although I will say vaping's gotten a little out of control because
it's got a lot out of control. I wasn't really serious.
True. But like I did a wedding recently. I won't say when because then people will figure out who it might have been. And the amount of people, because I'm looking at the crowd, the bride and groom are like looking at each other, looking at me, so they don't see it. The amount of people that were just openly vaping during the ceremony.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it was just like, what is going on right now? Like,
it's cheaper than a fog machine.
Yeah,
it's funny because they used to like talk to us as teenagers, like, don't smoke, don't drink, don't do drugs, and like, I don't tell my kid that. Like, you don't tell your kids anymore.
I think
to
it's
stop
funny
smoking.
too when like the sign, and again, I don't care. I don't have a dog in the fight, but like when it says no smoking or use of electronic cigarettes. And I'm sitting there and I'm going like, unless you saw like the vapor cloud, like you would have no idea somebody's vaping. Right. And so it's like somebody lights up a cigarette, like you're going to know pretty quickly, like somebody just lit up a cigarette. But like the vaping thing, it's like they have these signs, but like nobody knows. Like unless you see somebody like blow the smoke or vapor or whatever it is, like it doesn't smell. Like there's a lot of them do.
They smell like cotton candy and such. But when I got my real ID, the lady in front of me in the hallway was vaping in the hall because we had to wait so long. And she was just blowing it into open offices and in her sleeve. And I'm like, you're going to get us all kicked out of here, ma'am. If we wait in this line 2 hours, I'm snitching first thing because I got to get on this flight. Well, yeah. So
dial up.
Are you worried about your kids doing that?
No, we were talking about something in the car. Terry and I were talking to Taylor, and I was like, do any teenagers, I looked at her and I was like, do any teenagers smoke? Like light up a cigarette? She's like, no, absolutely not. Like, it's funny. People don't do that anymore.
Well, cigarettes got to be where, that's bad for you, but then weed got legalized and it's weird. It's like,
I think cigarettes price, like, I don't buy cigarettes, but like,
well, it's good.
Yeah. But like, I think that like I saw at my gas station recently, I was going to the same gas station, and like, I want to say like they're like $8 or $9 a pack. And that's what I'm thinking. Like, who could, because I mean, I did not, but I know people I worked with when I worked in the food industry that like, I mean, they were smoking like a pack a day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so if you smoked a pack a day, you're talking, I mean, what, $70, $80 a week just off cigarettes?
So like, my father-in-law, he used to live in Manhattan, and we went up to visit him. The last time I was in New York, it's been years. It's been 15 years. And he smoked then, and he would get a cigarette, and he wouldn't smoke the whole thing. And, he'd just toss it. I'm like, the 15 years ago, cigarettes were like $12 a pack in New York because of the taxes. I'm like, that's like
$6,
75 cents you just throw on the ground. I mean, you better finish that to the filter. So, yeah, good times. Well, so, hey, I had just real quick, I had a girlfriend in high school whose mother told me, we were talking about smoking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was introduced to them by saying she has a thing at her house called the SAD rules. And there is no sex, no alcohol, and no drugs because those things make her sad, and then she would make me sad. That's how. And I was like, goodness. I love this so much, and one day I will use it on my children. So it's pretty. It stuck with me for too many years.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, so internet's gone. People don't smoke anymore. But you know what has?
Well, internet's not gone. Just dial-up.
Dial-up internet. I'm sorry.
I would actually I'm sorry. I don't want to keep.
No, you're fine.
The conversation. Let's go. I would love to find somebody that still has dial-up just to see like how slow is it actually.
Oh, I mean, it was. Can you imagine?
Because if I go in an area where like how your phone will like downgrade the internet. Like if I ever get an area where it's like 3G or something, like I'm ready to throw my phone out the window. And 3G is probably 20 times faster than dial-up. So faster. I mean, that's crazy. Like that you would wait 10 minutes to see a website.
Right. So real quick, just for the old heads in the room like us. Do you remember this noise? It's like I gotta go check my Facebook.
That's not how you checked your Facebook.
No, we didn't have Facebook, but I'm just saying.
We had AOL.
And wasn't it too if you didn't have a separate line for your internet, if someone got on the phone, like it disconnected it?
Mom!
Yeah.
I was downloading the new Limp Bizkit CD and putting a virus on the computer. And
exactly.
Stay off after 8, you can't call the house because I'm.
Is it LimeWire? And then what was the other one?
Well, there was Napster. LimeWire was the janky one, and
Napster. That's right.
My wife, famously in our house anyway, had something called FrostWire that she claimed to be legal because she was paying for it. And I was like, it's just LimeWire. It's free. And she goes, well, I was giving them $10 a month. And who were you giving $10 a month?
Gosh.
I mean, not only were you putting all the viruses on your computer, you were paying a premium for it. It was wild. So, all right, well, I'm going to go back to my segue. Dial-up internet's gone, but you know what is up on the uptick? Heists. Have y'all seen anything in the news?
Yeah, I saw about the heist at the museum.
We got 2. Well, let's start with the museum one. They took a bunch of jewels from the Louvre, or the Louvre, if you're ignorant. So, any thoughts about heist? Would y'all ever want to do a heist?
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Okay.
If you knew what you were doing.
Do you watch a lot of heist movies?
Yeah, I do like those type of movies. Speaking of a documentary that I watched recently because it popped up because it came back, which is really fascinating, and we may or may not have talked about this before, was the guy that used to do the McDonald's Monopoly game and figure out how to cheat the system. Yeah. Well, they just put it back out because McDonald's brought back Monopoly. And that was a good documentary about it wasn't like a heist, but I guess it kind of was because he was still in the...
he was just giving the pieces to his friends. It's funny.
But no, I like it good. Like I like all those like Oceans movies, and I I like the one with the magicians.
Oh, Now You See Me.
Now You See Me.
Those movies were surprisingly good.
Yeah,
those were good. It's because Morgan Freeman's in it.
Those
so
are
what do you
actually
expect?
back on Netflix now. I think.
Yeah, Addie watched them when she was very excited about them. I'm like, oh, these movies are...
There's a new one coming out. So
they're kind of stupid, but they're good. It's like this... Come on. It's magic. What are we doing?
But no, I like a good heist movie.
What would
I
you...
do too.
In a heist, what would your all's role be?
Mine would be the mastermind.
Oh,
All right, so...
Penny's would be the...
no.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. What would it be?
She would be the fall guy. She would be the one we act.
Yeah, Jeremy's like, everybody get together. Listen, here's the plan. And the
Not
last bit
nice.
is we turn in Penny.
We're going to turn her in.
I would play all of you all. Be like, you do that to me, I'm just gonna put all you all in jail. Go live on a island somewhere with all that money.
Oh, the big switcheroo at the end. Jeremy goes to turn you in, but you're already gone because you've already turned him in. I don't think I have the tummy to be a heist person because, I get sick in a bookstore. I'm not going to be able to lie my way into a museum and cut the glass.
Same, actually.
I'm like, I'm going to need some caffeine and about 6 Imodium before we go in here because otherwise I'm not going to.
So I will say, this is part of the heist thing, but I was listening to a podcast the other day and they were talking about that this guy stole a car from a car dealership like back in the 80s. And they were like talking about how he got away with it. And I was like, he was like, it was so simple. Like he was like, and you think about he was talking about today, you couldn't do that because there's cameras everywhere. Everybody's got a phone. You couldn't do that. But he was like, it was so easy to commit crimes back then. And it's now, I don't know how you'd pull off a heist like this because this is crazy because of all the security cameras and everybody know when you're at and tracking and all that stuff. But even 20, 30 years ago, if you think about it, we should have been committing a lot of crimes because it would have been pretty easy. But now it's I don't know how you get away with anything.
Yeah.
So
we didn't get in while the getting was good.
Yeah.
There's a famous John Mulaney thing about that, about before DNA. You just don't watch out. You're going to ruin your shoes, all this blood. And then bank robbers would shoot their name into the side of the bank with bullets and they still wouldn't get caught. So.
Yeah.
Well, there was another big heist in the last month at Disney World.
Well, that took 4 minutes.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
and
you gotta get
they
out.
only stole specific things, right?
Well, they got the
What are they gonna do
Napoleonic
with
jewels.
those? What?
Put them up in your house.
Haven't you seen a heist movie? There's probably a buyer, and they're like, "This is what I want."
Dark web.
I will say
Come on.
that was a smart move to bring in the chainsaws. Isn't that how they did it? Don't bring a gun, bring a chainsaw. It's going to throw them off.
Grab.
It's going to throw some people off. And
Yeah.
You never said what your role would be in a heist.
She did.
I
She
told
said she
you.
did the double cross at the end.
No,
I
that's
would-
because
I
that
would
was
be the
that was in
mastermind.
response to my mastermind thing.
Secretly, Penny was the mastermind the whole time. She let Jeremy think he was. And secretly, she was.
That is actually exactly what I would be. I would be the person to be like, "Can you do that for me?" And then I would
I need a big, strong man. to do
and just throw you right under the bus.
Okay.
She would literally throw you under the bus, like at the beginning of Batman with the Joker's heist. The bus would run you over. So, have you ever been to the Paddlefish restaurant at the Disney Springs there, Penny?
No,
It's the fancy.
I have
fish.
not.
Well, it got robbed.
What?
Did you not hear this 6 weeks ago?
No.
Somebody swam up to it in the middle of the night while they were going through the money and jumped out and covered up all their cameras and tied the people up and took money and left. Jumped back in the water and swam away.
At Disney?
Yeah, at Disney Springs, at the shopping area that's their downtown Disney area.
It's kind of smart because who would think anybody would ever rob Disney Springs?
There are a lot of
Okay, so
a lot of questions to answer here, but
Okay.
yes, go ahead.
So did they swim? You said this.
They swam up to the boat because it's like
In
a
that
paddle
water?
boat. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, there's probably so many.
snakes and gators. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a mess. So, and they said perhaps it was somebody who used to work there. No, because they knew where the cameras were and they went and spray painted them and covered them up or whatever, tied the people up. I question it because they said they got away with between $10,000 and $20,000, and that seems like a big discrepancy.
Are we doing it in caviar? Did I not see that? That some of what they stole was caviar? Because caviar is expensive.
I mean,
No,
that's not
they
a whole
didn't
lot of
steal-
money to be doing that, right? Wouldn't y'all think if you're going to do a heist, it'd be worth some millions, not 10 to 20,000.
$20,000. That's $1,000 a minute. But
I just meant if you're going to do something, go
It's
big
not
or
bad.
go home kind of thing.
yeah, I mean, I think they went medium sized and then went home. But
What if
Okay,
they're doing it to set it up to see if they can do it, so they're going to go rob something bigger next?
Okay, so if you were going to do a heist, what would you go after?
Ooh, so what you mean, like money or jewels or a specific,
Oh yeah, what do you think you would go
like
after?
a Despicable Me?
I
Like
think
you're
I
looking
would
for
go
something
after
big?
the Hope Diamond or something.
I don't even know
But
what that
see,
is.
like
I hear that.
you're not the master.
Maybe even
So-
the ruby slippers from the Wizard of Oz, just to say I have
Maybe
them.
okay, hang on real quick, Jeremy, before you say something snarky. Okay, Jeremy's mic is off. So
Good. He's not involved in my heist, anyways.
I have a question. So you said number one, the Hope Diamond,
Yeah.
or maybe even the ruby slippers from.
Yeah, because they're all in the same Smithsonian area.
Oh, are they really? Okay,
Yeah.
But you went from like
Yeah,
the
well, I
most
was trying to
expensive
think of
jewel
like
ever
what I've seen
to-
in the museum and what I would want.
I didn't understand.
Jeremy's over here laughing.
I know that's why his mic's off. I didn't understand because those have no value to them.
But
do
I'm
they?
sorry, they're all in the Smithsonian.
So you would rob the
Museum.
Smithsonian.
Yeah.
All right,
Maybe take a dinosaur bone and to prove to Jeremy that dinosaurs existed. You're done. Will you stop?
All right, I'm muting him again. He's muted again. I didn't understand because it just seemed like
You're done.
It was a huge.
Turn him back on.
You know what though? Hey, these ruby slippers sold for $32 million. Oh my gosh! Why?
See this face?
$32 million.
You get none of my money.
Look at those shoes.
How would you be able to prove those are the real ruby slippers? That's like a big like.
Can you imagine?
They're actually not really ruby.
And what market is that? So this
I
is
know
why
the
you're
market.
not a heist person, because
you are.
You,
Okay,
you have to have
let's go
something
into
people
this.
want. No, you pull off a heist not for yourself. You sell the thing to the black market. You get the money, and then you split it up amongst your team. That's the plot of every heist movie. Nobody's stealing something
You gotta
because
use
they want a
Bitcoin,
pair.
man.
Nobody's like, oh, I want some ruby red slippers.
They might, if they're worth $32 million, I would say someone probably wants them.
Here's a question. So we were talking a little bit earlier about people that have money. What? How much?
I would totally wear that.
How much?
You would wear. You would steal them and then wear them.
No, she's talking about this diamond.
Oh,
This
I
is a
thought you meant them slippers.
I
was
would
like,
wear the slippers with the diamond.
This diamond is a flex. If you stole that and just wore it, you're like, that's right. That's the Hope Diamond. No big deal.
It's actually really something to see if you haven't been.
I have a
to-
question though. How much money would you have to have in the bank if you think those shoes are worth $32 million to spend? Because somebody bought them.
I mean, some people have so much money. It's like Jeff Bezos. Like he built a clock. Remember that clock we talked about, like out in the middle of the desert? Like nobody can even get to it. It's just there, and it's like you just have so much money you don't even know what to do with it.
I will say, is that your hip Penny? Cardi B just dropped a new album. I
Did
think.
she? I don't know.
It was in.
Not that hip.
I'm sorry. I believe it was Cardi B. It was one of the lady rappers. So I'll say her.
Okay.
And it was in the last few weeks, and she, was tweeting out or Xing out or whatever you do and saying, "Hey, my new album's out. Make sure to go buy it," and whatever. And people were like, "Have you not seen all the
it was
stuff going
Cardi
on in the
B,
world?"
and
And she was
she's
like,
like,
"I didn't know
no.
things had gotten so out of hand and expensive. I'm sorry. Don't go buy that. Go stream it."
It was Cardi B. I did see that.
And I was
yeah.
like, "Well, that's a nice thing," but I guess her money is such that inflation has not gotten to her.
Yeah.
But she apologized for asking people to buy her album because stuff's expensive.
I think the difference here in Penny's heist ideas, between the two, is like the diamond. I could see getting that if you could pull it off, because that is going to probably keep continuing to add value. So but like the people that care about the ruby red slippers, I mean, we got to be getting to a short end of the list of people that are going to want that for, even if it was worth $32 million. Like, but the Hope Diamond, like that's just such a massive diamond that.
I would just want the slippers to have for myself. It has nothing to do with
I know what you're getting for
anyone else.
Christmas.
Okay.
So question.
But
then,
how are you making money off this heist?
you got
I
to.
am enjoying.
Well, wait. So there's the thing.
So you're pulling it off by yourself?
Penny is doing it for the thrill, not for the money. She's going to put those at home and say,
I'm gonna watch TV and.
So you're doing it by yourself.
slippers.
So you're telling me you're doing it by yourself. You're pulling off a heist by yourself.
"I'd help you."
Thanks, Paul.
Penny-
What are you getting out of it? You get a cut of these
the joy of
slippers
helping
that
He
my
gets to wear
bestie.
them too. We're all
on.
wearing them. We're all wearing them.
All right. Well,
fun.
I don't know what I would take if I was heisting something because, again, I don't have that in me. I don't believe to do any of the heist maneuvers. I would probably be the driver on the way out if we had to.
Okay.
If it was one of those like
What was two
two masterminds.
Declaration of Independence? Is that what you're taking?
We're gonna steal it. The Declaration of Independence.
Nicolas Cage has already done that.
Okay, so what are you taking?
I would take whatever I could get the most money for.
Well, you can't have my Hope Diamond.
I don't want the Hope Diamond.
Okay. Well, so would you keep the Hope Diamond too, or would you try to sell it to a shady
No,
character?
You gotta sell that.
I think you get in trouble for selling
I would keep it and wear it for like a couple weeks,
Yeah.
and then be like, I gotta sell this.
Well, so then real quick, then one more question.
Have you? Okay, actually, let's
right.
let's do
All
this.
right,
Let's
hang
see how this here. Have you ever actually stolen anything before?
yeah.
What did you steal?
our hearts. And that's what.
What did you steal?
I stole a Tootsie Roll when I was a kid. And my sister told on me, so she's not
snitch.
invited to the heist.
No, get your snitching sister out of here. Get out.
She told on you for stealing a Tootsie Roll?
Yeah, she did.
What was the value of a Tootsie Roll in 1964?
Oh, man. Got her.
You're so mean.
I mean, it's a penny like it is now. They're all.
That's how she got her name. That wasn't her name.
That's her nickname.
That wasn't her name until she stole it. They all started calling her Penny.
You're done.
They made her go back and pay for it. And they're like, and now your name is Penny. That's the curse. You're stealing.
I can't right now. Turn him off.
You used to be Margaret. I remember that. All right. That's really funny. All right. Well, just for the record, the Hope Diamond is estimated to be worth between 200 and 350 million, so it's a far better steal.
All
right. And then real quick, have you all ever been anywhere where someone has tried to sell you something like out of a jacket like they do in the movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have too.
Yeah, New York. They do that in New York.
It happened to me at the Jefferson Mall.
What?
How did it happen?
Then they come
Recently?
No, I haven't been to Jefferson Mall recently.
I was like, have you been to... They probably would have.
I got one of like you like necklaces? And they open up their jacket and I was like, what? I do not, sir, but thank you and have a good day. Yeah.
New York. I'm thinking like late 90s. They used to have where they were selling like the fake purses.
Oh yeah.
In the parks, but then I guess they had to stop. So the
Freaking
next time we
Giuliani.
went, like 5 years later, we went and we were like, "Where are these people?" Because like I wanted a purse, and they were like, "You gotta come with us," and we're like, "No, I ain't coming with you." Oh no,
don't go to a second location. That's not great. All right. Well, so people have enough money to burn to buy ruby slippers for $32 million. People also have money to spend on a $680 cup of coffee.
Oh,
wow. What is so special about this coffee?
I would kind of like to taste it.
It's for dumb people. It's, let's see, Dubai Roasters Specialty Coffee House. It's a washed Panamanian geisha for $6.80 per cup.
Wow.
Let's see.
It's kind of like the Dubai chocolate. Is that what they're trying to do? I don't know what
Dubai chocolate
Have you not heard of Dubai chocolate?
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is. So
it's actually really good. I bought a bar
order some for
Paxton because she really wanted one.
That sounds right.
It was like $9
yeah,
for this
that's
candy bar.
Lily's.
It was stupid. But it actually was really good. It's got like pistachios in it and then some type of like cream. But it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Well, this coffee is it's from a special place. It took 13 years to develop the plot of land that they're growing the beans on and just a bunch of nonsense. I just didn't know. What is the most expensive cup of coffee y'all ever had?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't either. I mean Starbucks is
it's under
expensive.
10. If it's been more than 10.
No, I've never spent more than $10 on a cup of coffee.
That's good. All right. Well, so
I can't imagine spending more than $10 on a cup of coffee.
I kind of still want to try that though.
Well,
$600
underneath the story, it says, I don't think a barista would spend a week's or more salary on one coffee. You can still drink coffee close to this quality for under $30 a cup. So this person has just lost their mind. They're out of real touch with people if they're spending even $30 a cup. If
I don't know. I might spend $30 if it's like some really good coffee. Like if not every day. I'm just saying like once in a lifetime kind of thing. Like someone's like,
but
hey,
like,
you want
I feel like
this
the best
cup?
coffee I've ever had either came from Jamaica or Guatemala, like from the plantation where they're growing it. And it's actually cheaper there than it is here. And so I'm saying like the two best cups of coffee I've ever had are probably two of the cheaper cups of coffee. I mean, it cost money to get there, but like at the plantation, I mean, it was like 75 cents for this cup of coffee. And it was the best coffee I've ever had in my life.
Have you ever had the civet cat coffee where those animals eat the beans and poop them out, and then they gather the beans and make it from that?
Okay.
No.
That's pretty gross sounding.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
On the last episode that Johnny Mac was here, we talked about the coffee because I like my McDonald's, $1 for
McDonald's has good coffee.
I mean, I don't even know how much coffee's in the thing I drink there, but it's $1 and it gets the job done, and I'm good with it. And I could buy 680 of those for the price of one cup of this, and wouldn't burn my mouth because it's icy.
$680 for a cup of coffee. It's almost like anything like that. Like I've obviously like collected bourbon and stuff, and like there's just some of it that's so expensive. It's like, I don't care how good it is. It can't be worth.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Like there would be so much pressure on a $680 cup of coffee. And then what if you take a sip of it and you don't like it? And you're like, I guess it goes back to like people that have so much money, like it's not a big deal. But like $680, that's a lot of money.
Well, when I pull off this heist, I'll buy you $680 cup of coffee.
Okay.
She won't tell anybody, but there'll be signs.
Right.
She has her $680 cup of coffee in her gold-plated shirt. I'm sure she'll come to work. That's part of it. That was part of the thing with winning the lottery. You still got to come to work for a while so people
Yeah,
don't.
Don't tell
I know.
anybody.
Yeah.
If I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell a single person.
No.
I would just be like, just keep living and just.
You can't even tell Jamie because she would let it loose lips. You got to just maybe a couple extra Dubai chocolate bars show up, but no other real signs. Someone mysterious would pay off our mortgage, but like, I don't know. That was nice. Somebody really, really did us a solid, honey. But I wouldn't tell my wife either. All right, so one more thing before we get deep into it. Are your kids at all into K-pop Demon Hunters?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Well,
So dumb.
well, first of all, I thought it was fine. The movie's fine. But have you seen the TikTok trend where kids are burning themselves because they're eating the noodles fast, like in the movie?
No.
So, you know how they just really hurt some instant noodles in that movie?
Yeah.
So kids are slurping them like that, and they're burning their faces and their mouths. And it's
Oh.
a TikTok trend, and it's apparently pediatric burns are way up.
Wow.
Way up because they're super hot. Let's see. It takes 3 seconds for, as hot as they are, for it to burn. And if a boiling liquid at 212 degrees spills on a child, a deep burn very quickly. It's happening to their face, to the inside of their mouths, to their throats because...
No, I don't. What are they trying to drink?
So in this K-pop movie,
Noodles?
they're eating noodles, but it's an anime movie. So the kids are making these instant noodle, like the ramen noodle kind of things, and they're just slurping them. They're not letting them cool, and they're seeing how fast they can eat the cup of thing.
Is that what they do in this movie?
Yeah, but they're cartoon characters because they're just chomping it down because demons are coming after them. They don't have time. These kids have time, but they're just stupid.
Kids are dumb.
Kids are just real dumb.
I mean,
6'7" told us all we need to know.
I mean,
about
the
how
fact that it's like, I mean, between that and like the Tide Pods and like
Yep.
just all the things that like, I mean, what is wrong with kids? Just do drugs again.
this was
That's what we did when we were kids. No, don't do drugs. I'm just saying, like, what are they doing?
I don't know. It's bad, but it's TikTok. Kids are stupid. I mean, kids are stupid. I don't know. This has just become.
I think it really is like, I
The
mean, I
boomer
joke about
millennial-
them doing drugs, but I think that is like the thing is like, we were told not to do drugs. And then like now kids don't want to do drugs because
That's good.
This is good, but now they're finding other dumb things to do
Yeah.
because they're not doing drugs. And it's
There's a thought there that kids are going to be stupid. How
that's
should
what I
they be
meant.
stupid?
Like, however, they're going to be stupid however they
Should they
want.
be stupid with drugs? Should they be stupid with burning themselves? They're
Or drinking,
Eating a Tide Pod.
eating a Tide Pod, or huffing on
cinnamon.
air wicks or whatever I saw not too long ago.
Huffing on an airwick. What is that?
I don't. Somebody's telling me about this trend that they
What's
were
an
doing.
airwick?
Like the
That's
little
those spray.
the spray.
that you're-
Yeah, the air spray things where kids are like spraying them in church and huffing on them and stuff.
Spraying them in church.
Hurt shirts, like
Shirts.
t-shirts.
Oh. No, don't do that. I don't see that.
I hate air fresheners.
No, I
Just the
don't.
thought of huffing that sounds
yeah.
terrible.
So like they're doing like aerosol sprays and stuff.
I was like,
and they're huffing them. And
we had that bad smell at church that I grew up in. It was like, oh, it's just floral.
Yes. Maybe that's why I'm traumatized by it.
Yeah.
I can't.
It smells like a Baptist bathroom.
Yeah, probably.
There's like a turd scent and a flower there. We don't understand. It's not great. All right. Well, then we're going to get down to it because, man, we've been coming in hot
I do
and
love the
fast.
smell of a Sharpie though, like a fresh
That's-
open like Sharpie.
You know what I
That's
love
not
this
the
smell?
same.
Airplane glue. You like
You
to smell
wanna smell
airplane glue? Sometimes I'll just put it in the
No, it's
bag.
got to be a fresh one. If it's been open before, it's no good. It's got to be like a fresh. It's not even the Sharpie. What's the other brand that makes the
It's not bad.
the permanent marker
the
brand?
big, like the fat ones, like the silver ones.
Yeah.
Oh, the permanent marker.
I don't know, but if you see Jeremy going into the back of the Hobby Lobby, just grab him quick because he's getting all.
It doesn't smell bad.
It's got to be a fresh one. It's
Doesn't-
not a fresh one.
Yeah, but
I also like the smell of when you first open a can of tennis balls. Oh,
Oh, that's
I
a good
thought he was
smell.
going to say tuna.
Tuna too?
no, tuna. A fresh can of
I
tuna.
thought that's where he was going with it. I was like, what? Please stop.
No, tennis balls. That
Tuna
smell
candle.
when they open like.
Jeremy's right. That tuna or that. See, you got me saying that tennis ball smell is great. Oh my gosh!
This is fun.
All right, Penny, what's your favorite smell?
I like Windex.
Oh, that's nice.
I even like the smell of gasoline.
Ooh, listen, I don't mind the smell of gasoline. What is
Which
happening?
is funny because either one of you go to gas stations ever.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
You would think
That's
you would
true.
be there as much as I am.
Yeah.
But when we're there, we like to spend a minute and fill up because it takes so long for it to fill up. That it's just all right.
Oh, gosh.
All right, so just a complete curveball thing we're going to roll into. We'll come back with a quick break. It's a giggly day for this low energy that I thought we were coming in with. So, Jeremy, Before
Yes.
we get into this, how versed are you on Mormonism at all?
Pretty versed.
All right. That's I knew
Sweet.
He knows. So this is a long roundabout way to get how we got here. So my daughter, apparently now that she's in high school, she's decided she likes theater and being in plays and things. And it's exciting for us. She's finding like who she is, what she likes to do. So we've been listening to different soundtracks of plays, and one that I always was interested about because I didn't know much about it. I've never heard anything about it. Was the Book of Mormon.
Oh, it's amazing.
And I was listening to it. I'm like, oh, this is really good. And there's a couple that, I'm like, oh, we'll just probably skip this one.
Yeah, it's pretty vulgar.
Couple tracks.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, this is interesting. So I started looking into Mormonism, and I'm not leaving the church or anything. I have a question as to what do you think about that as far as, I don't know how to say it in a way that doesn't sound... What do you think about the viability of that, as any of that really happened? The John Smith.
Very zero. So I will tell you
that was a what? A very zero?
No, very zero that any of it happened the way that Joseph Smith.
Very
described
zero.
it.
There we go.
So, very zero, below zero.
Okay.
Negatives. He was known, if you study him, so take out Mormonism, just study Joseph Smith, and then, with that framework, then look at Mormonism, and you'll be like, there's no way any of this happened. But, so when you study it in religious schools, Mormonism in a lot of textbooks is actually in the cult category, not in a viable religion. Now, I'm not saying that's across the board, and if anybody Mormon listens to this, then I got a lot of questions. But it is actually, in a lot of places, considered a cult more than it is like a viable religion. And then if you study like what they did like in Utah when they moved to Utah and why they're in Utah and like Brigham Young and all that. So right there, Brigham Young. It's crazy like how it is like where it's gotten from what its roots were into what it is today. Like Joseph Smith was known for being like a scam artist like well before that and like tried all these other different ventures and all that stuff. He sold like magic grain, I think, one time, and like sold it to people. Then he had like magic corn or something. Like, it's crazy some of the stuff that he came up with. And so he was known as being like a con artist and a scam man. And then all of a sudden he gets these the golden tablets, which no one ever saw. There's no evidence that anybody ever saw the golden tablets other than him. He's the only one that can translate them, and the reason he can translate them is because he found the magic goggles that God gave him that allows him to translate them. There's a lot to, this is not me, making fun of it. This is actually in their, documentation of how he was able to start Mormonism. And then, it starts out, I think, actually in New York. It didn't start in Utah. People associate it with Utah, but it started in New York. And he was ran out of New York because that people were like, no, we're not, you're taking advantage of people. And again, it was considered a cult. And then they eventually moved west to Utah. And if you study, like I said, the Brigham Young stuff, they would go out and they were murderers. They would kill people, wipe out groups, wipe out villages.
Not like Christians.
In order to establish their faith there. And, there is Mormonism all across America, but the majority, I think it's 96 or 97% of them are in Utah.
So if you were to take a Venn diagram, if you were take Mormonism and take Christianity or what we are, where does that come together?
Oh, so Mormonism, the thing about Mormonism when I studied it, and so two reasons I studied it. Number one is, so when I was in high school, I think most people know I played competitive tennis. And so my doubles partner, me and him had joined the varsity tennis team. None of this matters, but this is our relationship. We joined the varsity tennis team as seventh graders, and we were the number 1 and number 2 seed and alternated which one was number 1, number 2 all throughout our, because some years one person's better. But anyway, that's how close we were. When he was 18, his family was Mormon, and so they sent him off on his mission. And so I wasn't super religious at the time, but I remember being like, this is weird that you're just being sent off on this mission. So I started studying it a lot, and then I got into studying it even more in college. Mormonism, and actually Jehovah's Witnesses was even more fascinating to me, but Mormonism. So what's crazy about Mormonism is on the surface level, it looks a lot like what we would believe. Mm-hmm. And then the deeper you go, there's layers to it. It gets wilder and wilder and wilder. So essentially in Mormonism, the biggest issue of why it's not considered actually part of mainstream Christianity when people actually understand it is that you eventually become your own Jesus. So Jesus is his, galaxy, universe, whatever, that he's the Lord of. But you can actually become like Jesus and eventually go somewhere and have your own like universe where you are like the savior of. And I don't know if this is all going on Wikipedia, but it gets crazier and crazier the further you go into it, and it's different levels of just wildness.
Why would you want that?
Well, and like Mormons, like, so like even like more recently, like Mormonism. So in Mormonism, like you can't have alcohol, you can't have caffeine because it's considered a drug and all that stuff. Okay. But you can look this up. But then like several years ago, I think they've changed it because it was not a good PR move. All of a sudden you were allowed to have caffeine, but the only caffeine you could consume was Pepsi. And the reason you could consume Pepsi is because the Mormon church had a 30% stakeholder share in Pepsi Cola. And so like there's been little stuff like that along the years where it still taps into some of that Joseph Smith stuff early on where it's kind of like, but yeah, so like I said, the thing about you becoming your own God and like Jesus, like that's stuff you learn further you get into it. But yeah, I mean they do, like we edited it out, but like there is stuff like they have a particular set of undergarments they have to wear that is unlike everybody else. You know, they consider the Book of Mormon, even in its foundations, even though as you study the Book of Mormon, and the Book of Mormon's been edited a lot. So the Book of Mormon you have now is very different than the one Joseph Smith had because there's so many things in it that contradict itself that they have to keep editing it. And that's like a big warning sign too, is that the book has to keep being edited over and over and over again.
Well, I think you asked why anybody would want that. And I think we talked about that in one of our documentary about cults episode because I was saying before, off air, we were talking about it. And like the Mormon kids that I went to high school with were like the best people.
Oh, they're great.
Like,
yeah.
Like I was saying, like there's so many people that you're like, oh, that guy's a Christian. Look at this guy. Like he's just, you've got your WWJD bracelet on and then you're just doing just all the terrible stuff. But every single Mormon person I've ever met, they've all just been like upstanding citizen, just wonderful, just would literally give you like the shirt off their back in the middle of the day. Like, I don't need this as much as you do. Here you go. And we don't seem to have that in our faith typically the way they do.
I mean, so like I remember like studying it and thinking like our professor, like same thing you just said, like Mormons are very family centered people, like value centered, community centered, like all that stuff. On the surface, Mormonism, and I don't think even like the deeper it goes, it gets dangerous. Now the Brigham Young stuff, if you study some of that stuff, like it's pretty crazy, some of the stuff that they did. And I obviously have not been to Utah and been to like the temple and all that stuff, but like when I said that like the goal of Mormonism is that you become your own version of Jesus. If you went to the average person that just attends a Mormon church and told them that, they'd be like, no, we don't talk about that. Because they probably don't know.
Right.
It is literally like layers upon layers of depth to where you eventually get to like this layer where then like, and then they do it through like studies. And there's like, I mean, like I said, there's actually like levels of Mormonism that you're allowed. And depending on what level you are, you're allowed that information that the other levels aren't allowed. And so, I mean, it gets wild when you start studying like what's actually coming out of Utah, I should say. Very much so, like a little bit like, and I'm not saying they're the same, but a little bit like Catholicism in the sense of like you have the Pope and then you have like all these like layers underneath the Pope.
Right.
And then you have just like your average person that attends, the church. Same thing with Mormonism. You've got like these people in Utah that are like these high ranking, powerful men. And then it just kind of trickles down from there.
Well, when I was getting into reading about it online, people were talking about, they were saying, well, that like Joseph Smith was our person in America to preach that, but then that essentially Jesus came to
North America and went to the Native Americans.
Yes.
And that's why the golden plates and the glasses got in upstate New York.
Right. So
Jesus gave him the goggles?
No, an angel came and did all that for him.
Idiot. Okay. An angel.
Jeez.
My bad.
The angel was waiting for Joseph Smith to show up. He was the chosen one.
30.
But I mean
1800 years after Jesus.
And honestly, is that any more unbelievable than a virgin birth and the angel?
No, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like it's yeah.
But then people online were saying, well, that Joseph Smith was America's version of North America's version, but that Jesus also appeared in like Russia and what is Japan and all that stuff, that everybody has their own kind of thing, and that the Book of Mormon is just the American take on that. And that, so you're saying that has very little, there's very little other proof other than the Book of Mormon that these kind of things are going on.
There's no,
but I mean, like, I'm sorry.
And so here
validity,
would be the difference, and we can say this. There is no archaeological evidence to support anything that Joseph Smith says.
Okay.
Like zero. And you can say there's literally zero archaeological evidence. If you go to Israel in the Middle East with the Bible, like what they keep finding is there's more and more archaeological evidence that support, not that Jesus was the Son of God or anything like that, but support the stories of the Bible.
Right.
And so like that these things happen in these time frames and these were real people that lived and all that stuff. You know, you could argue the God side of it all day long with archaeology, but the archaeology is at least saying, yes, some of these stories in the Bible, like there's more validity to these things than just somebody just made these stories up. Zero archaeological evidence, which you got to think it's all happening in America. So that would make it, you would think, easier. Second of all, like it's more modern. So it's not like we're having to dig up sites from 1800 years ago. You're talking about things that are within the last 300 years. And we can't find any proof of anything that Joseph Smith said is accurate or true.
Well, these things always, like, this is the type of religious stuff that interests me when people, they come up with these ideas, because, you know, our Jesus story kind of ends. He comes back and is like, hey, what's up? And then ascends, and then there's no more Bible Jesus necessarily like that. But then people are like, well, this just didn't make it to the Bible, but he did other things that, like, went to different continents all over. And I mean, it was fascinating. I just didn't know much about it as far as how it fits. So within regular Christianity, it's not necessarily, how do you think they fit together then, if it's not like a bolted on to your faith? Do you think like Mormonism is not necessarily Christianity, but it seems like it is?
I would say based on, and people can argue with this, and again, I don't have very many Mormon listeners. Here's what I would say. Based on what I studied about Mormonism, not just the Book of Mormon, but the layers of Mormonism that exists, it defines more in its origins with Joseph Smith, but also even today, more in the cult territory, less in the part of Christianity.
Yeah.
Now, the average person that attends a Mormon church on Sunday morning and does Bible study and does all that stuff. So in the Bible, the Bible, one of the rules when you study it is that the Bible has to help interpret the Bible, right? Okay, so like if there's something that's said or a statement that's made, one of the first places you look is other parts of the Bible, which I know sounds crazy, but to see like, if Jesus made this claim, how does that fit within the rest of the story? Does that make sense? So and then you can go to other outside sources, and does this make, okay. In Mormonism, you have to use the Book of Mormon as your checkpoint. So like the Bible says this, but then what does the Book of Mormon say? That's where you start running into problems. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in their world, the Book of Mormon has the final say, not the Bible.
Okay.
And so if there's anything that Joseph Smith or the Book of Mormon says, and there is a lot that contradicts something that's in the Bible, well, that trumps this. Just as the Catholic Church would say anything the Pope says technically can trump the Bible because he's the Pope. He's God's appointed voice for this generation.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Did you have something to say, Penny? Really?
Nope.
Well, so then...
Cool.
Then you're saying, like, if you say, all right, well, I believe Jesus is the Son of God and that he has come to earth for us, but then I also believe Mormonism, is that something that those aren't compatible, is what you're saying, like that kind of deal, if you really get into Mormonism? But on the surface, it might be?
On the surface, yes. On the more you understand about it, no, because Jesus, you believe Jesus is the Son of God. Your job is to become like Jesus, not in the sense in which we would say become like Jesus, which is to be the best version of humans we can be. They want to become like Jesus to literally rule over their own universe. Okay. Like that is the highest goal of Mormonism. Now, I say that, like you can say this stuff, like I say that the average person that just started going to the Mormon church down the street, they're not talking about that. That is the deeper levels you go within Mormonism that you start to understand this is the actual goal. Women, like your job as a woman, very similar to like some of the stuff in Islam, is to like help populate a universe. Like you basically become like, it's going back to that idea of like you become like something to be used to help this person.
Oh, I apologize. I like that.
Paul's like,
hang on,
don't go to the Mormon church.
Let's put a pin in that and come back after the mics go off. All right. Well, I don't know. I think that's very interesting, and I appreciate the insight into this.
No, we also just like broke down an entire religion in 20 minutes. Yeah. There's more layers to that. That's just the cliff notes.
Well, I mean, I think that's good because that was always my question in high school was, I've been in church my whole life, and I've been a believer most of it, but I have never met anybody that I would call Christ-like, like the people that I would meet there. But then think, but then why? Why are you? What is the difference? And then
because the end goal for them in being Christ-like is very different than our end goal in being Christ-like.
Yeah, but
ultimately,
yeah. Well, there you go. Okay. Well, we're about time to wrap it up. You want to talk about Forrest Frank and Jelly Roll beefing before we go?
I didn't know they were beefing.
I didn't either. What?
Well, they are. So pictured here, you can't see it. Forrest Frank looking like somebody that I would not drop my kids off at youth if the leader looked like this guy.
Oh, I like him.
Look at this man's face. It's not plugged in anymore.
We can't see it.
So Forrest Frank got nominated for some Dove Awards and then said, "No thanks, I don't want to be."
Okay, so I do know the story. So it's over the fact that he doesn't want to get an award for something that is for Jesus.
And then people said, "Well, how did you get nominated for it? Because you have to turn your music in. You have to submit it." So maybe his management team or somebody did. And then Jelly Roll called him out for he's like, "Well, you're making lots of money doing this music that we love, because now guess I'm doing Christian music as well." So they have since squashed the beef, but I
mean, I don't know. It's hard because I really don't think maybe they really probably shouldn't have a Christian music
in
award.
General. Oh, okay. No,
or just do what they've done
ceremony
for generations and just it's tacked on to the Grammys. There's a Christian category.
Yeah.
Because like if you look at the Grammys, there's a whole Christian category of music. They just don't usually live present it. They do it in that pre-thing or whatever. And it's like, that's good enough. Like,
I mean, I do think it's okay to get an award for, it getting a certain amount of platinum albums, whatever they get for that, like, hey, look what you did for Christian music. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, so Jeremy, though, just came up with something there that do you think you should not be awarded? There should not be awards for Christian content. Is that then
what I meant by that is like, I think it's okay to say like the acknowledgement that this person created this thing, any art form, and that they have broken this barrier or they're one of the top ones in this thing. But so much of that stuff is like, here's the thing, like growing up like in the church, like the only good Christian music I actually did like was never like the popular stuff that's going to these award shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can debate all day whether they were truly Christian, but like MXPX is one of my actual favorite bands who was a Christian band. Like they're never getting nominated at the Dove Awards or the Grammys, but like, and that's just because they're not what Newsboys were or whatever, I mean, so I don't know. It just all seems silly to me.
Well, I thought it seemed very silly too. I would stay generally when I see these things online. I'm like, I'm not getting in the comments. Nothing makes me sadder in humanity than getting in the comments of.
I just think it's dumb that we do awards like that stuff anyway. Like,
I completely
even
agree.
like for movies and stuff, it's like these guys are already these are making more money than anybody else. Why are we still
the fans and the money is not enough? You need a trophy too.
You need a trophy too.
I agree.
Yeah,
and it's just spoken by people who aren't getting along trophies.
Now, if we want to talk about beef.
Have
you seen the LeBron James Russell Westbrook beef and then the LeBron James Stephen A. Smith beef?
No, but I don't like 2 of the 3 of those people at all. So
yeah, well,
Westbrook's all right. Well, hey, real quick, what's going on? If you can break.
So
that down
apparently
LeBron's
like people are going at him that like for years people have been saying like he's just real fake, and then like he's like a created. Like he's really good at basketball. Don't get me wrong. Like this is not taking away from LeBron.
His personality has been,
but his personality is a creation, similar to Taylor Swift. And so like that, like they're.
I don't know why she's catching strays in this, but
that they're like a creation of like a brand.
Yeah.
And apparently, like all these people now are like writing these memoirs. There's actually one that just came out, and like Stephen A. Smith and Russell Westbrook are both in it, just about how like that, like he's not authentic, he's not genuine. Like still greatest basketball player outside of Michael Jordan probably to ever play, but. Like he's just anyway. So there's all this stuff that came out yesterday about this book that's being written about him.
I mean, I can see that for sure. I can see that. I mean, John Cena's retiring, and I'm pretty sure that's the same kind of deal where they've just taken the most popular, best at whatever you're doing, and then created a whole thing out of it. So well, man, hitting you with the hard issues right at the end. LeBron, John Cena,
Taylor Swift, whole career is a scam.
Yeah, can't wait for that wedding. It's gonna be beautiful.
Y'all are done.
All right. Well, hey, I was being serious. All right. Well, thanks again for listening, and that's it. We'll get next time. See ya.